Hey folks, this week's Raw, what did we get? We actually got a very surprising, but not in the perfect sense, show. I can say this, that we got 2 weeks left before Money in the Bank comes on. And things that usually we done in the go-home show, at least a few of them were done here. Seeing the opening of the show with all the participants for the Raw Money in the Bank was a surprise. Did I enjoy it? Not really. But I saw that Daniel Bryan and CM Punk were the ones who really were most spotted there. Daniel Bryan in particular. So I'll have my thoughts about Daniel Bryan at the end of this review if I don't forget. This place is hot, so my mind has kind of been... This is like the 5th time I've done this. Next to my battery's dying. It's just hot in here. Anyway, the opening of the show wasn't that bad, but I was surprised to see it happen, but I just wasn't 100% interested because we've done this so many times before when it comes to Money in the Bank. So I'm going to move on from that. Now, I want to get this over with now. Seeing that WWE decided to do a champion versus champion with a Cena and ADR isn't something that is uncommon. I mean, they don't do it often. It's very rare they do it, and they say it, and it does, and it's true, unless they're doing it on a pay-per-view. So it wasn't that surprising. What was surprising was seeing them show former champions throughout the night, showing a Buddy Rogers, Lou Thesz, showing a Nature Boy Ric Flair, Bob Backlund, showing a Hogan, and the person I was truly surprised to even see and hear about was Sting. I understand that Sting has chosen not to become a part of WWE because he believed that WWE would consider him a mid-carder. And I can understand his feelings about it. Maybe the WWE's changed their mind about him becoming a mid-carder, feeling like a mid-carder. And maybe this is the reason they did that. Because seeing Sting being presented as world champion, even though you know that he was, they do DVD sets of showing former WCW matches and the era WCW, but to actually see Sting being seen, and even the King say, "What great champions, Lou Thesz and Sting," was a strange surprise to me. I never thought they'd do that. And I'm sure people in TNA are going to be talking about it, and some people in the stadiums and in the places that are going to be doing their shows are going to be talking about Money in the Bank. We saw Sting. I don't know if someone's going to do that, but I have a feeling they may, because WWE does not mention Sting often. So the match between ADR and Cena, it wasn't a bad match, but I'm going to say I wasn't fond of the ending. When you see Mark Henry come out, and I will get to his segment later, but seeing Mark Henry come out and supposedly distract Cena, but still ADR doesn't win, that was not good. Seeing a Dolph jump onto the ring and ADR going, barely, and then Cena wins, why couldn't they have a DQ or a double DQ? Why do any one of them have the job? But ADR has the job. Now, I can say a little bit that they kind of redeemed it, because when you see Mark Henry try to hand to the WWE belt to Cena, and Cena flinches, I can say this. At least they're not letting them touch one another, at least not yet. I'm hoping they don't let either one of them touch at all. Let Mark Henry be the one that's over on Cena this week, going into SmackDown. Don't let him lose anything. Going into the next Raw, don't let him lose anything, and then go into Money in the Bank. That will give me more of an interest. I love Mark Henry. I don't understand why they structured him bad with Sheamus. It was stupid. The last pay-per-view when Sheamus kicked his fucking ass. Before that pay-per-view, during that pay-per-view, and then he disappears for a couple of weeks. There was no point in it. But in this case, if they leave them separate and don't let anything interfere with Mark Henry, don't let him touch, don't let him get beaten, let him be dominant, it'll be perfect. Now I'm going to move on to Dolph's match with Jinder Mahal. The reason I'm doing it now, because I don't want to forget it, and I did mention Dolph. Seeing Dolph without an AJ and Biggie is good. Seeing with a goatee and a goatee with a mustache was surprising, and seeing him win was not surprising. Seeing the crowd wasn't totally into him, that's not good. The middle of the match, you got chance for JBL and King. They got some chance at the beginning and chance at the end for Dolph. Dolph needs to talk. This is what I see. Him coming back is great, but Dolph needs to talk. He should be allowed to talk, and he must have more wins after this is over. But primarily, he needs to talk to work on his mic skills so people will get interested in him. If he's going to be a babyface, you must show him and let him talk. If you don't, this is not going to work. No matter how much people say he's a great in the ring, it makes no difference if you don't show all bits of the tools. So, CM Punk segment and match with Axel and Primetime Players with Paulie in tow. The segment beforehand was not bad. It wasn't. Seeing that Punk trusts Paul but doesn't trust Axel wasn't too surprising. Seeing that Axel was the one that was spotlighted here because he was the one that primarily did most of the work in the ring. He got the blind tag at the end of the match, and then he wins and pisses off Punk was not that surprising. They're still trying to get Axel over now using Punk. They're not talking much about Brock yet. So I'm not saying that's great, but they need to get Axel over, and this is the way they're going to do it. I'm sure next week they'll be doing something with Punk, with Paulie, and probably Brock Lesnar will be included. They need to do something with Brock, even if it's a video segment. So this is what's happened with that. Now, I'm sorry I'm a little tired. It's still very hot in my apartment. Orton and Kane with Bryan as the ref. Like I said earlier, Bryan is being spotlighted. And seeing Bryan as the ref and seeing they had to do 2 matches. The first one was DQ because Bryan got touched by Orton. And then a fast count in the second one makes me think this. I still have this weird feeling about how these 3 are interacting. I understand that Bryan is being put over by Orton. They need to do this. I'm glad Orton's doing this. He understands after the last wellness program. I mean, they made it very clear to him. You mess up again, you're gone. So you probably realize I've been stupid and selfish. I want to do more for the business, and I want to do more for myself. I'm going to put people over. I'm fine with it. And to see this is good. I understand the reason why Kane and Daniel Bryan are not feuding yet. Because you need to keep Kane as a face. Because if Bryan does turn heel, no matter if he wins Money in the Bank or not, and this is what I think about Bryan in the Money in the Bank. I do believe there's a possibility he will win it. And he will go up against John Cena. If, and I'm not saying he will, if Mark Henry loses and he has to go up against Daniel Bryan and Daniel Bryan wins by hook or by crook, the perfect person for Daniel Bryan to go up against will be Kane. Because this will be the ultimate match between 2 guys who were having a feud before, came partners, became friends, and then went their separate ways. And this is culminating in the end. That would probably really lead into TLC. I believe that. If this was to come down, I don't believe it's going to happen. I do believe Daniel Bryan might turn heel. But for this to happen, you need someone to help him do it, and that's going to be Orton. I've said before, this feels like the Three Stooges, where they're just circling around. They're not getting anything done. But seeing this now, I understand the reasons why it's being done. But do I still feel like they're the Three Stooges? Yes, I do. But I understand the reasons why it has to have, for me personally, a Three Stooges type of feeling where one is smacking one against the head and say, look, you're doing something wrong. Pay attention. And the other one gets into a fight with another one. That's how I feel about it. You tell me below. I know it sounds kooky, but that's how I'm getting it. Now, Fandango versus Sheamus. I'm glad that Fandango's finally back. Summer Rae is dancing again. She's a smoking hot looking woman, but I still don't see the good dancing from her. I mean, she may minor in dance, but she's not that good at it. As much as people could say, dude, don't pay attention to how she's dancing. Look at that gorgeous body. I've looked at a gorgeous body. But it's not enough to go with the dance. I mean, sometimes a woman who looks like crap could dance her ass off and be the most arousing woman on the planet. But then when you have an arousing woman that should be the hottest on the planet dancing not that great, it just isn't enough for me. So seeing him against Sheamus and then walking away from Sheamus was good. You don't need to put either one of them over. Yes, Sheamus won technically, but it's not the point. Fandango did not have the job. And seeing Fandango going into the Money in the Bank for SmackDown, it's understandable. You need to see this. You need to see him clear, clean, and good. It's good to see the heels win. And seeing that Dean Ambrose also won and Fandango not needing to do the job, excuse me, seeing that makes me have a lot of confidence that they're going to structure both. Well, I think they're going to structure SmackDown's Money in the Bank way better than the Raw one. That's how I feel about it. Now, going to the Caitlyn and Alicia Fox match with a Layla in tow. Oh my goodness gracious me. I still love a Felicia Fox. She's a gorgeous looking woman. Caitlyn's not bad, but when you get a close-up, I think the cameraman really likes Layla. He focused in on that gorgeous body with those beautiful breasts and that beautiful face. I'm sorry. Layla was the one that stole that show of the entire thing for me personally. Layla looked so great. Now, the match itself wasn't that bad, and I can say Alicia Fox, I know a couple of people said Alicia Fox can't wrestle at all, but she does have some type of skill, so she's not that bad. I wish she would have better feuds with people. Maybe she could have one with a Cameron and Naomi. She could have a feuds with people you don't see. And this is making me think about watching more of NXT. If you haven't seen my NXT, well, brief review of it, of how I feel about it, I may connect it to this video. Because I'm considering doing an NXT review instead of a SmackDown one. Because I kind of gotten from all the things that's been going on in my life. And I think maybe I've been a little burnt out with SmackDown. Even though it's not, some cases better than Raw, I just feel a little burnt out. You guys tell me below how you feel about it. But I'm thinking about maybe doing NXT reviews. Well, NXT reviews eventually. I need to watch a couple of episodes to see it. I only seen one. I need time to see more. So, AJ coming out and showing a fat picture of Caitlyn. Am I interested in this feud? So. I'm glad to see that AJ's with Biggie and they're not involving with Dolph. I'm fine with it. I don't know where this is going to lead, but I hope it'll lead somewhere soon and we'll move on to something else. Now, I'm going to move on to the Divas, talking about the E-reality show. I can't, Total Divas, I believe it's called. See, I have to put this out that I must give credit is due. I'm not saying the Bellas did a great job in their promo. I'm not. But I can say they did a decent enough job to highlight at least the two new girls that are there. JoJo and the other woman, I didn't get to catch her name. I got something to say about JoJo in a moment. But then when you see all the others together, including my gorgeous, my loving Naomi, I don't know if this is going to be a good show or not. I can only say that at least they put enough of it into the show because it's starting now that you might be interested in seeing the attitude of the women. Now, the thing I have to say that, for me personally, the woman that is on top for me, I love my Naomi. She's number one. Layla is almost tied with her. I've said it before and I said it again. I loved Layla before and then I switched to Naomi. It was hard not to. But the rest of the women that have been in my lineup, with a Alicia Fox tied with a Cameron, a Layla, Alicia Fox, Cameron, Natalia's not bad looking at all. I now have a possible new person to add to my list because when I looked at JoJo, oh my goodness gracious, woo! I must like girls with puffy hair. Because Layla L, when she first came out with puffy hair, she was beyond attractive. My Naomi, sometimes she has a puffy, sometimes she has a straight. Either way, she just looks absolutely gorgeous. But this one, it's hard not to say that she could be on my lineup near the top. I'm kind of hard not to start thinking about it because seeing that woman, wow. I'm moving on from there. The Let me see if I'm missing anything here. Let me see. The Mark Henry segment was... I can say this. Comparing Mark Henry to John Cena, it's obvious Mark Henry's a way better actor and talker. I mean, John Cena has his moments where he does it very well. But right now, Mark Henry's red hot when he talks. He said it very clearly. I got you all. You're nothing but puppets. And everyone eats that shit up because he draws them in. I'm sure the ratings jumped up again when he was there. When he went into his segment, when he had his video pre-tape of what he went through for all the years. I'm sure people looked at that mess. And when he threw the WWE title at John Cena, I'm sure periodically the numbers jumped. Because this man has enough of a charisma that he can bring in the numbers. He is ready for the title. And he should be the one to win it. I don't know if he will, and I will come up. Hopefully, I'll do a prediction soon. I'm quite busy. I'm hoping I'll do a prediction maybe this week or maybe next week. It counts on who they're adding in there. I haven't checked on the site yet, but I may do a prediction if I have the time. Now, lastly, I want to talk about, let me see if I'm forgetting anybody. Yeah, two things I'm going to talk about. Oof. When it talks, I messed up 5 times because of this. Right back in the Miz with Jericho. Jericho, I want to say, I wish Jericho would go to commentary because I don't want to see Cole anymore. I don't hate Cole, but I've heard his commentary for so long. Let him go to SmackDown and stay there. Let him go there. I would love a Chris Jericho on Raw with commentary with JBL. And if you need to keep King there, fine. But you know what? I believe the King would be best used in NXT along with Regal. Let Regal and King work there. I know that's kind of what? Look, it'll be something different. I want to see a Chris Jericho go on commentary because he has the charisma to pull it off. The match itself pissed the shit out of me. Why would you have Ryback job like that? If he lost to the figure 4, fine. He messed his leg up against Justin Gabriel. Like I said, I didn't get a chance to see SmackDown, but Justin Gabriel messed up his leg. So why couldn't he job to the figure 4? Fine. But in the middle of the match, he said, I quit, stop the match? Do you know what you've done, WWE? You have 100% destroyed the mysterious... Oh, this is the reason why I had to do it over. The person that has to win now is Chris Jericho. It makes no difference. If Ryback wins after this, it's the most stupidest thing they could have done. I've said this before and I'll say it again. Ryback is disappearing. He's going up, then he started going down. This is it. You turn him into a monster heel that becomes a chicken shit heel that becomes a weakling that can't even finish a match. Even with a messed up knee that wasn't taped. Come on. Come on. This is where things go stupid. Do I believe Chris Jericho is not going to win that match? He must win that match. If he doesn't, it's stupid. It is beyond stink stupid if he doesn't win that match. So the last thing I want to talk about, I want to make sure I didn't forget anything, ladies and gentlemen. And like I said, it is incredibly hot in here. It is. I said Fandango. Oh yeah, Antonio Cesaro versus Cody. I almost forgot. Seeing Antonio and the Trucker is back. If you don't know who the Trucker is, it's Jack Swagger. I call him the Trucker. Seeing him back, finally he got probably finished his time because of his what he did in, I don't remember what state, but he's back and now Antonio's working with Zed and him. Good. It's good to see this. This actually makes sense. You can actually have a good tag team from it. I don't understand why Cody had a job. All of these guys is going to be Money in the Bank. And even though Cody and Damian said, we're still going to be friends, you see Damian pissed off that Cody lost. I just feel like, I don't know how to feel about this. I've said it's possible that Cody and Damian are going to split and they're going to have a feud. But the way it is, Cody's been jobbing so much. It's inevitable. They must turn him face. If they keep him jobbing, why do you keep him on television? It's such a waste of a good talent. So the last thing I want to talk about is Wyatts, and they're going to show them next week. I can't wait to see the Wyatts. I'm hoping they're going to put them over well. I'm not sure how they're going to do this, but I really hope it's going to be done well. They're only going to get one impression from Raw, and I hope they do it properly. So I give this a B-. I wasn't fond of most of what was done, but I do understand it was done properly, at least certain things, and was done at least a little bit early. So I hope you enjoyed the Zane's View. Subscribe and comment to my channel. I can't scream because I'm sweating beyond stink in this room. It is hot in this room, and this apartment is reaching 90 again. It sucks. But you know what? Like I said, I'm alright. I probably will connect my NXT review, well, brief review, and you can get an idea if you think I should try and do this or not. You guys have a good day.